tonight's able to see it. So welcome, and if we haven't met yet, my name is Kevin Ross, and I am with Washington First Robotics. I am the Pacific Northwest District Chair, and hopefully joining us soon is going to be Christian Hansen. He is the Spokane Regional Chair, and we are going to be talking about our Spokane District event. So this is a team briefing for that. I am going to I apologize. I'm currently at our facility in Kent. We just finished packing up the truck for this weekend. We've got all of our fields and stuff are done and ready to go, and we just finished loading up the truck a little while ago. So if there's a bunch of clanging in the background, that's the team taking down the red field, which is the field that you guys will be using in Spokane. So I apologize if it gets noisy in the background. Hopefully it won't shine through too loudly. I am looking for a particular screen. Where is it? Oh, well, we'll keep going. So this is a GoToWebinar. If you haven't been on one of these with us before, we're going to move fairly quickly. I want to get you out of here so you can go enjoy the rest of your evening. Everybody is going to be muted. There are too many people on the call for us to be able to keep everybody unmuted. If you do have questions, there is a little raise my hand button that you can press, or you can type it into the questions box, and I will do my best to keep up with that during the presentation. Just an overview of what we're going to hit. We're going to have we are going to have, oh, Christian just arrived. There he is. Hi, Christian, you got audio? We'll let him get himself online here. There we go. So we're going to talk about general logistics for this event, parking, buses, food, that sort of stuff, and load in, load out. The last half is going to be very similar to what I've done in others. So if you end up wanting to drop off when I get to the other part, I will not be offended. So I don't want you to have to endure as many of these things as I do during the week. But we will talk about a walkthrough of the event, what's going to happen, and those sorts of things. Hopefully we'll be done in a little less than an hour. So I wanted to, there's been some confusion or some minor misunderstandings about things. So I want to make sure to go through a couple of these slides early. One of them is before you arrive. In fact, actually, we need you to do this as soon as you possibly can. My computer, hang on a sec, my laptop has run out of memory. I love computers sometimes. Close all these. Before you arrive, there are a few things that we do need you to do. In fact, you can actually start on these right away, and I'm going to bring up this window here and go to this is the Washington First Robotics website. This is where all of the information for the district models are. If you go to the FRC menu and come down to District Model, you will find a couple of important things under this menu. One of them is called a check-in page. What I need you to do is for all of the events that you're going to attend, I need you to fill in this form. It's going to, for this event, you'll be coming down and selecting the Eastern Washington University event, and you can fill in the rest of this. Very important, you need to tell us whether you actually need a pit table or not. Pit tables cost us money to rent, and it turns out a lot of teams don't use them. So this year we have changed. We are going to ask you to tell us that you need one. The default is that you don't get one unless you tell us you want one. So that'll be really important. And then we need you to verify the 3-inch, that you understand the 3-inch wheel limitation. So that's really important for you to do. Please feel free to do that while we're working here tonight, and or do it at your earliest convenience. We really need you to do this by next Wednesday. We'd really appreciate that. The other thing that's under this menu, you go to District Model, there is the Pacific Northwest District Supplemental Rules, and these are really important. We'd like you to look these over. Most of it has to do with the local rules that we put in place. They are official rules, by the way. We didn't assign rule numbers to them, but we will enforce these as vigorously as we do all of the other rules that you find in the first manual. Most of this has to do with cart protection, what your things that you're going to do in pits, and very importantly, the electrical power rules and the required equipment that you need to bring, because if you don't have these things, you will be unhappy. So please check out this document. I've sent the links out a couple of times to these, but if you can be sure to read through this and understand what's in here, it's really important for you to have a good experience with us. The last thing I'm going to show you here on the website is, again, district model. Come down, and you can find the Eastern Washington University District event. That's what we're talking about tonight. Here's a web page. Oh, good Lord, somebody put a picture of me up there. Okay. The date time is incorrect on this one, but the rest of the public agenda is correct. So the team schedule, you're going to arrive at 5 o'clock, and it'll show you the agenda. Most importantly, or if you need them, the slides for this presentation will be down here at the bottom, and a link to the recording as soon as we're done with it. All right. I am going to check for questions real quick. Christian, I wasn't able to hear you before. You can try speaking again. Are you there? I'm going to check for my friend Christian. You're unmuted, so I know I don't hear you. I don't hear you yet. No worries. So we'll get that fixed for Christian.
Does this work better? Are you hearing me?
Oh yeah, there you go. Now you're here. Yeah.
Okay.
I can hear you. You're a little broken up, but we'll make it work.
Your voice is very garbled, but it might just be my internet connection.
Yeah, it might be. You're coming through garbled on this end. Why don't you go ahead and mute yourself for now, and we'll I'll have you jump in a little bit. Somebody tell me in the chat window if I'm garbled. It could be my computer. Christian, can you hit your mute button? Thanks. All right,
I'm hearing you,
that's
yes.
what we need you to do. Okay. So these are the things that we need you to do before you arrive at the event. Now, the other thing is there's been some confusion about the robot access period. I want to make sure I'm very clear about what this means for you. The robot access period, you are attending a 2-day event. It's a district model event. You may take your robot out of the bag starting 7 days prior to your event. I believe for this that would be the Thursday before this event, which trying to do the math, I think that actually might be the 6th or 6th. Yes, Thursday the 6th, you may actually take your robot out of the bag if you're available, and you can take it out of the bag anytime up to your arrival at the event. You get to take it out for a total of 6 hours maximum during those 7 days. This is your final build day, by the way. These are different. If you have attended FIRST events in the past, we've always had Thursday is our unofficial final build day, but the reality is these are much shorter events. You're not on site as long, so you should spend the 6 hours at home in your shop with your tools in the luxury of your own time. So please read the rules very carefully. It is in the Administrative Manual, Rule 5.6. You can remove your robot a maximum of 3 times for no more than 6 hours of total time, and I will let you read the rest of the rules and interpret them appropriately. The biggest thing I want to point out, if you are planning on bringing 45 pounds of withheld parts to a district model event, you are making an enormous mistake and should revise your plans immediately. There will not be time for you to work on 45 pounds of withholding materials. You should be planning on doing that sort of stuff at home. Having said that, you may bring 45 pounds of withholdings. There's nothing that prevents you from doing that. However, do not rely on Thursday as your final build session. It's very important that you don't do that because we have a very specific set of tasks for you to accomplish on Thursday and Friday morning, and they don't involve you working on your robot to finish up those last-minute things. Okay? The entire idea behind the robot access period is that part of the original pit day is gone. All right. Hopefully, I will belabor this a couple more times. I apologize about that, but a lot of teams don't seem to be grasping the concept. All right. Oh, did I miss a slide? Hang on a sec. I'm going to go back. Nope, that's it. Okay. So the basic schedule for this entire event. Thursday, you're going to arrive in the evening, and your primary and only goal on Friday is to pass inspection. You may as a auxiliary set of activities, set up your pit, get yourselves ready to go. But the reality is that we're really want you to focus on passing inspection so that we can start playing on time on Friday morning. On Friday, we will run qualification matches starting about 11 o'clock. So you will have time to practice on the field. It turns out in the Spokane event, we're hoping to get the field set up a little bit early because we're going to start setting up earlier than we are at some of the other events. So we may have practice time available for you on Thursday night, but the true reality of it is that it may not be ready for you, so practice rounds will be on Friday morning. The practice field itself will be set up in the pits on Thursday, so you're welcome to use that. Friday qualification matches, you're going to run 12 qualification matches, which is more than we've ever run in the past. Normally we only ever got through about 10, so you're getting extra play. That'll be all day on Friday, and then Saturday morning we're going to run qualification matches starting in the morning about 9:30 or so, and that'll run till about midday, and then we'll do alliance selections and run the final rounds in the afternoon. Okay, and then we'll be departing on Saturday night. So where is this event? It's going to be at Eastern Washington University, which is in beautiful Cheney. It's a little southwest of Spokane, out in the middle of the wheat. It's out in farm country. It's actually a lovely place, and it's a really great venue for us to be in. There's plenty of room in the pits, and there's plenty of room for spectators and lots of seating, so you'll enjoy it. We are going to be at the event center. It's called Reese Court. It is you can see the picture here. The event is actually in the right-hand building is where the basketball court is. It's really an outstanding venue for us. And then on the left is their field house, and that is where the pits are going to be. So the pits will be there's a connecting hallway between the field house and the pits for you. So it's a good venue. Logistics-wise, parking. Parking is in lot P12, which is this big parking lot up here above the football field. Plenty of parking here at this event. I believe it's paid parking. Christian, is it still paid or is it free in P12?
No, actually, it's never been paid. And just make sure you pay. You park in the upper lot. That's so above the green field, which is now red. And that is a free parking lot. It's the only lot on campus that's free on Friday. On Saturday, you can park on pretty much any lot that's available, except the lot in front of the football field is a paid parking lot, not permit only. So no parking in front of the football field. Anything above the football field is free.
Outstanding. That's right. Thank you for reminding me of that. I'm doing 10 of these. I can never keep the I can never keep the details about parking straight.
No problem.
Having said that, it turns out that neither Christian or I have any pull or sway at all with the parking enforcement. So if you end up doing something that's out of band and get a ticket, we apologize and feel for you. However, there's absolutely nothing here I can do about that. It is out of our purview. All right. Bus drop-off. This is Washington Street down here in front. If there's a, I don't remember if, let me back up one. So they can pull up along here on Washington Street. It turns out there's a nice little ramp and a hallway over here on the left-hand side that allows you to enter where the pits are. So so if you are coming by bus, we recommend pulling up alongside the curb on Washington Street and dumping your students out. And then the bus can go find parking at another lot in P18. And I don't think I have a picture of P18, but it's your bus driver will find it. All right. How am I doing so far, Christian? Have I messed up anything?
No, that sounds good. And our parking staff are actually real friendly. they like us putting on this event, but. The main thing is don't park in anywhere where it says by permit only or meter parking only or trouble. But they do try to accommodate us, and if the parking lot P12 fills up, they'll try to find all the places for people to park. So parking shouldn't be a problem.
Great, yes. And I'll echo that. The staff at Eastern is absolutely fabulous. We've enjoyed working with them every year we've been there, and they are very, very nice. So, okay, so that is it for buses. Concessions are, I can't remember if the concessions are open Thursday. I don't think they are they?
I am not sure if they are or not. If they're not open, then there are concessions right across the street in the hub, which is the student union building right across the street.
Yep. Okay, so there's when you're inside the building, you can bring food inside. I know that Adrian should have. She actually may have already emailed it to me, but like I said earlier, I was busy packing a truck, and then I ran in here to do this. So I haven't actually looked at my email today. I'm pretty sure that we'll have the food order forms up on the website. It's pretty much the same setup as last year if you were at Eastern last year as far as food. And I apologize for not getting that detail worked out. But we will get, there's a page on the website for this event, and we will post all that information up there as soon as we get it. Okay. So you are allowed to bring your own food into the venue if you would like to do so. We're trying to avoid bringing coolers in. They tend to leak. So, but you know, if you've got something that doesn't leak, you can probably take it to your pits. Let's not bring coolers into the basketball arena, though. It's a wood floor. I think water would make a mess up there. We're trying not to eat in the pit area itself. You can eat in the seats in the stands. There's also some nice seating in the hallway of this building. There's actually plenty of room for you to find a nice place to eat. And we really are expecting outstanding weather in Eastern Washington this year. I put in an order for it. We'll see how that goes. But in general, if you could clean up after yourself, it's really important. We don't have we don't have a lot of janitorial support to help you clean up after yourself. So please find the garbage, throw your stuff away, be nice, be neat, be gracious, be professional. Okay. So Thursday, load-in is going to be at 5 o'clock. And as always, it's mandatory that you have safety glasses at all times in the pits. Make sure to follow the instructions from our on-site staff, even if you disagree with it, because quite frankly, they're all volunteers. They've all been trained. We have a plan in place. They know what the plan is, and yes, you may have a better way of doing something. However, if it differs from our plan, we would prefer that you go with our plan so we don't make a mess out of things. If you are dropping off, we wish that you would please park in the loading area, or not park in the loading area. You need to stay with your vehicle, so even staff your car appropriately so things can get carried in. We have cable protection, they call them yellow jackets, cable protection humps or bumps that you're going to need to navigate over. So at all of our events this year, we're requiring 3-inch diameter wheels on everything. That includes your toolboxes, your robot cart, anything that's going to be rolling around. You will be very unhappy if you try and roll in something that's shorter than that. You're going to get high-centered. We've seen it in the past where somebody brought in their Snap-on toolbox that had 1 or 2 inch wheels on it, and they smacked one of our cable things. And let's just say it takes a long time to chase down all those little sockets when they're headed out across the floor. Plus, it does damage to the floor, so we don't want that to happen. Okay. Your first stop on Thursday should be to sign up for inspection. Yes, you are going to set up your pits and do all the cool things that you would like to do, but your sole job on Thursday is to pass inspection. So you'll hear me say that a number of times. Now, for load-in, this is an aerial view. Here's Washington Street. By the way, referring back to my comment about the buses, if your buses are dropping students off, there's that little hallway. This hallway will lead straight over and into the field house. So that's a nice way to get your students into the building. If you're going to drop a trailer off, you're going to come down and you're going to turn into this driveway, which is between the tennis courts and the other stuff. It is a narrow driveway. Please stay all the way to the right. We will end up queuing a number of vehicles going in. Please stay on the right-hand side in the event that we need to have vehicles exiting on the left. Our intent is to be able to exit people another route, and that is sometimes weather dependent. If it's terribly mucky and muddy, they don't want us going up this gravel road. So stay to the right and just follow the queue around. There will be people down here helping you load in. You'll be going in through this garage door over here, and just follow the instructions from the staff. They may actually open up another door possible, but all likelihood will just bring you in through this door. There are only, I think, 32 teams at this event, I believe is the number, and so load in should actually proceed pretty quickly. This is the event that has by far the most pit space available, so it should be quite luxurious and everybody will have a great time. Okay. Hang on one second. I'm going to check for questions. I'm running on one screen tonight, folks. I apologize about that. And Chris is mentioning that will you be able to have water and beverages in the pits? Yeah, bottled water is awesome. Please stay hydrated. The only common thread that we have every year is there is going to be one or two students who are going to faint. They are going to faint because they didn't drink enough water during the week. So hydration is actually quite good. We appreciate that very much. All right. Apparently the previous recording is encoding in the background, but that's all right. So load in, pretty straightforward. If you've been to Eastern before, it's going to look pretty familiar to you in terms of load in. Load out, same thing. What you're going to do is you can load up your vehicle and then go back up and repark in parking lot 12. You may load out during the elimination rounds on Saturday. It's a 32-team event. 24 teams will be in the elimination rounds, so there may be 8 of you who'd like to get a little head start on that. You're always welcome to do that on Saturday afternoon. Okay. So I've covered food. I've covered parking. I've covered bus drop-off, and we talked a bit about load-in and load-out. Let me pause real quick to see if anybody's got a question. My computer is low on memory, but it will be happy. I'm going to close down Publisher. And one sec. Sorry about this. I can't tell you how many labels I've printed in the past 3 days. It is in the several thousands, and apparently Publisher has used up all the memory. There we go. All right. The wheel requirements, and these are written in the supplemental rules. You can have a look at them. Some of you are going to need to modify your toolboxes. We'd appreciate your doing that. You will need to do it. These are the same rules we're using for all of our events. We just think they're generally a good idea. Our yellow jackets are 2 inches tall. You will high center if you don't have at least 3-inch tall wheels. We've seen it too many times, so we're now requiring larger than 3-inch diameter. Please note hard wheels. If you've got one of those, what do you call it, like a Husky style Home Depot toolbox that has the really hard plastic wheels, we'd appreciate your taking the time to go find a replacement set of wheels, something that's got soft rubber on it. The reason is that if you wheel those things around and you get a nut or bolt stuck under one of those ABS plastic wheels, they will scratch the floor, and we don't want that to happen. And no steel tread wheels. Crawler wheels or some of the older, cheaper toolboxes have these really sharp steel wheels, and they will make a mess out of whatever floor you roll them on. Maximum weight for your cart. This is new this year. We're being pretty generous, but last year we had a couple of problems with really heavy carts. You get 50 pounds per inch of wheel size. So if you have one cart with 4 3-inch wheels, you can weigh 600 pounds. That's a very generous tool thing, but we're trying to limit the damage to the floor. So if you get small wheels and a really heavy cart, you will end up deforming the wood underneath. And again, we are going to be kind of sticky about the 3-inch wheel thing, so please make appropriate modifications to all of your stuff. All right. Let me belabor it for a second time. Thursday is now inspection day. It is your only goal on Thursday, really, honestly. Yes, you can set up your pits and do all that stuff, but we really, really, really need you to pass inspection on Thursday. It is a much shorter time period than we've had in the past. We used to have 12 hours. Now you've got about 5 hours. So please do everything you can to pass inspection on Thursday. Preparation is really key to that. You know, and like I said before, your robot access period is the time that you need to be doing all of the changes. So I've already sent out a copy of the inspection checklist. You should go through that with your team during your robot access period and solve as many of those problems as you can. And well, actually, you should solve all of those problems. So there you go. If you show up and you need help, don't be bashful about asking for it. In general, lower numbered teams have more experience. Pretty much any team like about 2,900 or below or 20 or 3,000 or below have done this a few times. Feel free to go and ask them for help, and if they can't help you, go find another team. Okay. Pits are going to open at 5, exactly at 5. We will open the pit area to everyone. Please wait for clearance to enter the building. You must have safety glasses on, and you must bring your own. Please do that for us. Even if you find a way to wiggle your way into the building, please don't. We'd appreciate it. We are in there setting up. We're not ready for you until 5. You know, these are generally smaller events. We have a new mantra floating around here: do less, better. So we want you to do less stuff and do a better job at what you are going to do. These are smaller events. You're not on site as much. So, you know, take that into account when you're thinking about how big your pit display is going to be and all the rest of that stuff. So consider traveling light. You know, we want less setup time. We want more room in your pits. We don't have as much of a pit limitation this year at Eastern Washington because it's a very generous size, but most of the other events are smaller. So, but you know, you're not there very long, and we have power constraints that you need to deal with. I'm missing the power slide, I think. So yep. Oh, sorry. I'm going to zip back and go from there. I managed to screw that up. Please read the power requirements. We are on a generator at this event, and so I'm going to go grab this off the website. I apologize; they are not in this slide deck, and I don't know why. Probably because I fumble with things sometimes. If you look in the supplemental rules, we will tell you about power. We are on a generator at Eastern. The generator is got enough power for you to draw about 400 watts. This honestly is the same size generator that we had last year. A lot of teams are having great consternation about the 400 watts, but the reality is that it's kind of the same power we had last year. Having said that, the power distribution equipment we have this year is not as beefy as we had in the past. We spent $10,000 on the cords and the spider boxes for our pit power. We just can't afford to spend any more than that. So you are limited to about 400 watts. And actually the real limitation is actually your power alliance, which is the next 4 or 6 teams around you. You are all limited to a single 20 amp circuit. It actually turns out to be plenty of power. Don't worry about it, but don't come in with a multi-horsepower compressor. In fact, don't bring a compressor. It's just a mistake to bring a compressor. It's going to draw too much power. And your power alliance will need to manage your 20 amps wisely. It's right. The rest of the rules are right here. Please don't connect anything in the gym. If you plug anything in the gym, we're likely to take it away from you and confiscate it, and you won't get it back until Saturday. We're going to be kind of sticky about this. That we don't have the massive power boxes that we've used in the past, so we're not able to provide you power in the gym. We're using all the available power for our equipment to run the show. All right. With that, I'm going to go back and check on for questions real quick. Will the electrical requirements be the same here as they are with the smaller venues? Yeah, and Robert, the reason for that is that the electrical requirements are the same because A, it makes the rules easier to write, and B, we're using the exact same equipment. So yes, it is exactly the same as we're using everywhere else. Okay. All right. No other questions at the moment? Oh wait, actually there was one. Can you give directions to student housing on campus? Christopher, you're asking, the generators are shut down at night at this event? So yeah, so be aware of that. Hey, Christian, I can't remember, do we have student housing at Eastern, or is that just at Central?
Yes, we do actually, and I wish I could tell you exactly where on the map it's going to be located, but we have several student residence halls, and I'm not exactly sure which one will be the one we're going to be using. We have a brand new one that just opened this year, so that means we're able to free up some space, and we generally try to keep them all in the same building. So best thing to do is just ask one of the volunteers or find me. I'll be in the event office right behind Reese Court, and we'll get you some information. We'll probably put it out in the pit admin area where to go when it's time to go to your room. So we'll have that information up, and maybe I'll try to get something up on our website also.
And yeah, and for them to reserve rooms in student housing, they're going to visit.
Yes, and that is already up on our website, so it's on the. And Kevin, you may want to check in and maybe copy some of that information and put it on the First WA website, so it's redundant. But on the ewu.edu/FRC, there should be some information on who to call. There's a nice lady you can call or email, and she will take your reservations. It's $20 per night per bed. Those are double occupancy rooms, and it's fairly modest accommodations. You have to bring your own sleeping bag or bedding. So it's not a hotel type of accommodation, but it is a darn good price. So we invite you to take advantage of that if you're looking to save some money on your budget. So let's see, you found the website, and yeah, there it is, like right down halfway down the page.
And here's the food plan. Adrian, our coordinator, was talking to Tom today, and again, my sincerest apologies. I was very busy loading a truck and did not finish in time to get all of those details from her. But it looks like actually all of this information up here is good. So so that's ewu.edu/FRC is a shortcut. It got you straight to this. Hopefully that you'll all find that very useful. Okay. All right. And I will make sure that makes it into the notes. All right. Pitch open, do less better. On Thursday, of course, you'll need to check in. We need you to check in with Pit Admin right at 5 o'clock. Bring your TIMS roster. If you haven't done that before, go to TIMS and you should be able to print out a student roster. And then bring along with you any other consent forms that haven't been signed. Honestly, that if you bring the roster, and if you tell us that everybody has been to a previous competition, because we're now talking about week 3 competitions, we only need one version of the paper consent form per season for each person. So we will rely on your gracious professionalism to be honest about that. Okay. On Thursday. It's all about Inspection Thursday. There isn't going to be a whole lot of activity for students. So if you wanted to bring just a skeleton crew, and this is going to depend on your travel plans, we're not going to turn anybody away, but the reality is that there isn't a whole lot for everybody on your team to do. So depending on your logistics, you might consider bringing just your core group on Thursday and then bringing the rest in on Friday. It's just not a very good spectator day. If they do go in, they can watch us set up the field. It's actually kind of fun. Or if you've got some students who would like to help out with various tasks, that could also be arranged. So we look forward to seeing everybody, of course, on Friday and Saturday. This is, for the first year, I won't be there this year. I will actually be in Mount Vernon, but Christian and Dale and the entire crew over in Spokane will put on an outstanding show for you. So I think you'll have a great time. Veterans, please bring, as always, bumpers are always a pain in the butt, and a lot of teams will mess theirs up. So if you wanted to bring some extra bumper material, we'd appreciate it. Our machine shop trailer is going to have some extra 5-inch plywood, at least when it leaves. We just packed it. It's leaving for Auburn Mountain View and won't be back for a while. But if you wanted to bring some various components for bumpers, is great. We're also running 11 events on 2 spare parts boxes. And so, honestly, we're going to run out of spare parts by the end of the season. So if there were some materials, motor controllers, anything that you can't run to the hardware store to buy, if you wanted to bring a little cache of that to loan to other teams, we don't expect you to give it away, but if you could loan it to another team, we'd really appreciate that. Motors, sensors, that sort of stuff. And as always, programming is always a challenge at these things, so any help you can provide with that, we'd appreciate. Machine shop will be on site. It'll be our Washington Force Robotics machine shop trailer. I think Paul Roush will be there. I'm looking up at the board. Eastern Washington, yep, Paul will be there. And they'll be able to help you out with things. Remember that you may not just walk up and use the tools. It's really for our volunteers. Our insurance company is real stickler about that. So it's not that we don't trust you, but our insurance company doesn't. And they will take care of you. They will not loan you any tools, of course, and that is our normal operation. We have a very small number of rookies this year. I think there's 2 rookie teams actually are going to be in Spokane, and so as veteran teams, we're expecting you to make sure that all of the rookie teams at this event make it onto the field. And rookie teams, if you're there, these people are here to help. We've all been there before. As always, inspection is going to involve size and weigh-in at the inspection station, a little control system inspection, followed by a physical inspection at your pit. You can start signing up for all of that at 5 p.m. You can go and you can take your robot immediately into the weigh-in and size line. We'd appreciate your doing that. And then we really need you to get connected to the field either Thursday night if they're available, or definitely on Friday morning. And always remember, the inspectors are your friends. They are not. It's not like you're going to court or going to see a lawyer. They are here really to help you get out on the field. So see them early, and they will do everything in their power to make sure that you pass inspection. And I have some redundant slides, but I will point out that it is rare for a robot to pass inspection on the first attempt, and it doesn't matter if you're the Skunks or Bare Metal or a rookie team. Everybody's got something they're going to end up having to get fixed. The earlier you find out about that, the better. So please get in line early so that we can get through inspection in a hurry. I'm going to skip through a few slides because I intended to delete them and I didn't. But the really important step is that we do need to get you connected to the field. It's going to be on Friday morning for sure. The event actually doesn't start until 11 on Friday. So we will get you out there and hooked up to the field. It's really important you do that. A lot of times you may have a bad firmware version or some update that needs to be done. It's not complicated, it's not onerous, but it does take time, and we will not hold up the event waiting for your robot to reflash itself. So get that done for sure. Practice rounds will be starting Friday at 8:30. They'll run till 10:30. You are guaranteed to get at least 1 practice round in. We invite you to get in there line early. There will be 2 lines actually. One line will be for all of those who have not been on the field or connected yet, and the other line will be for those coming for the first come, first served practice rounds, and we will try and keep the field full at all times. So check with the queue manager on that. We will always give priority to the teams who have not connected to the field yet. We appreciate your gracious professionalism in helping everybody get out there on the field. And I know I belabor this over and over, but it really is important that you realize that we really want you to come prepared to pass inspection on Thursday. It is, if you are bringing 45 pounds of withholdings to a district model event, you are doing it wrong. I don't know how else to say it. We really intend for you to show up ready to be inspected and ready to run on the field. So you should be dealing with those 45 pounds at your own event or your own shop, okay? The pits will close at 10 p.m. on Thursday for sure. You must be out of the building at 10. We really need to get our volunteers home. They need to be back like literally 8 hours later. So please help us out in being ready to get out exactly at 10 p.m. so that we can get our volunteers to bed so they can have a full night's sleep. We really appreciate you doing that. Thank you for attending. I'm going to go ahead and take questions if you have any. The slides for this actually won't be on webinars. They will be on the event-specific page for this, and we would love to have you check out the slides later. Nate has signed up. Nate, I apologize if anybody has volunteered and hasn't heard anything yet. We will get Dale Garraway to make sure that he's sending out messages to everyone. I don't know whether that means that you're needed or not. I apologize. I'm not tracking things at that level of detail this year. We will make sure that Dale follows up and lets everybody know. So we appreciate your volunteering. I believe if Christian, do you know how the volunteer staffing is going? Are you guys at full, or where do you need help at the moment?
I don't know if you can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I had to switch to my phone because my computer crashed. Yeah, I will make sure to check with Dale and make sure he lets everyone that has signed up to volunteer know what they will be doing. Hopefully we're going to be able to use everyone. And I know he's been very blessed with the number of people that have stepped forward, so we're in very good shape with volunteers. And
I'm going to, you guys will get to see some stuff that most people don't get to see, which is the volunteer list. We're looking good on judges. I'm just looking to see if there's anything obvious where they need help. It looks like if your team would like to show up, if you have students on your team that would like to show up at 3 o'clock, it looks like the field assembly and event setup are still somewhat understaffed.
Actually, according to Dale, he said he had quite a few people volunteer. So I would recommend people to just simply signing up on the volunteer system, indicate if you want to give us a hand with setup. But we don't want to have people show up if there's not, enough to keep you all busy. So
okay,
make good use of everyone's time. So you could also just simply email Dale. He usually gets back to you quickly. It's dgarraway@ew.edu, or if you can find the EWU FRC page that Kevin mentioned earlier, there's also his email address there. So best to check with him, and again, we'd love to have you help, but we do want to coordinate it.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So if I guess my point was if your team would like to help volunteer, what you're going to do is you're going to go visit our volunteer system. It is I will log out real quick, and so you can see it. It is volunteer.firstwa.org, and you can create yourself an account and sign up and click on Eastern and sign yourself up in the volunteer system and select field assembly and events setup. if Dale can assign you, he will, and they'll let you know if it's not needed. One of the things that we'd love to be sure that we've got is enough people in Spokane that know how to set up and run our fields. Don't know if you know this or not, but it turns out that Washington First Robotics now owns 2 FRC fields, and the more people who know how to set up and run that sort of stuff, the better, because if you guys want to do an off-season event or something, this is a great opportunity for you to come learn how to do that. Again, checking with Dale first, but to make sure that he's got room for you. But if there are some alumni or mentors that would like to know what it takes to actually set up those fields, this is a great opportunity for you to get a first swing at it. Okay? Love to have you do that. All right. I think with that, I'm open to any other questions. Otherwise, I think we're done for tonight. And it's going to be a great event in Spokane. I'm really tickled that we're back at Eastern. It's a great venue and a great staff over there. Christian, was there anything else I should have brought up that I missed?
No, I think that was plenty of information. I think just make sure everyone know where to find information, and our email addresses again. If you can find the EWU FRC page, that'll link to pretty much everything else, including the First Law web page. So so that should be your one-stop shopping if you have any questions, and you can always email me. My email address on there, and Dale Garraway's email is there, and we'll try to get back to you, or get you in touch with someone who can answer your question.
All right. With that, everybody, thank you so much for attending, and I hope you all have a good night.
Yeah. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.